Alright, hi folks, and welcome back to the stream. In the previous stream, we were starting to do the resolution, variable name resolution stuff. And we're at the point where we want to be pushing onto a memory arena, essentially. So we're switching over from doing the make string sort of malloc version over to do a sort of arena pushing style. So that's kind of where we're at, and that's what we're going to do. So yeah, result string. So this guy's taken a memory arena. I think the very first thing we want to do let's simply change this so it initializes a string and pushes the entire string onto it. So we're forgetting all about the resolution. We don't care about the resolution for now. All we're doing is changing this thing so that it can push onto our own memory arena. So this thing was initialized to all zeros as well, so I think this should just go fine. So the first thing I want to do I think we want to fit first of all. And the fit function takes a width and a block size. Width, block size, and something else besides the actual pointer itself, I think. Let's have a look. Item count, items per block, 0 initialize. Right, so it's predicated on the item count, which we don't really want to be doing. So we're going to have to do a different kind of a fit function, I think. Essentially, we're going to be talking about... I mean, I suppose actually maybe you could consider the count to be it's a bit weird, but maybe we could get away with it without having to make a new fit function. Right. What is that? What we're doing, result strings. So width in bytes could be 1 byte. The item count could be simply the number of bytes that we've currently populated. The items per block could be whatever block size we actually want. Yeah, that could actually just work, strangely enough. And then this is going to be the items block. So I think let's just see how large this cinera.conf file is. It's 6K, okay. I mean, maybe if we just do it in 1K chunks. It's worth bearing in mind that there's also a load of white space in here. I think 1K chunks would be fine. And I think the final thing was just whether there's a zero initialize, which we don't need it to do. And also that a base. Oh, we don't have kilobytes. It doesn't like the unsigned conversion. Oh. And what should this be, the block size? Hang on a minute. Oh, it's a unit 8. This is how you cast, isn't it? Oh shit, no it's not. That's what I'm talking about. So it doesn't like unsigned conversion. Just bear with me just 1 second. Like, shouldn't this work? No. Unsigned. From int to int 8_t. And if I do this, this should be okay, shouldn't it? So it doesn't like that now. Okay, so it's fine with that, but we didn't like the other thing. Well, fine. So this thing here is going to first of all try and fit that thing onto there. We're not bothering to initialize it to 0. So we're going to be getting a... here also I think this actually, it does need to be a little bit different. we are just going to be filling up this thing. We need a way to initialize the pointer. Well, actually, all you do is, like, you just sort of say this, don't you? Also, the way that the fit is actually working, we don't need to know the capacity, strangely enough, because that's just going to work it all out for us anyway. So the thing about this arena is it can only grow, by the way, which is kind of fine for us. I mean, I could be doing this in a completely busted way, but I think it might be okay. Don't know. So the result base is going to be equal to the A pointer. Right, and then that's just going to stay there. Then what's going to happen is we want to be going through the length of the string, incrementing the A pointer, right? Yeah, the thing is, and also it's not exactly that. It's actually and then we finally return the actual string. Now the thing is, sorry, the result. This is only going to try and fit one character. So it kind of seems like, rather than doing that, it's like whenever we want to do that, we actually want to be pushing on a character. Do you know what I mean? So it's almost like we want to do, in this resolve string, it's almost like we want to push character. Where are we pushing onto though? Exactly. And if we're going, we want to push it onto an arena. But we need to be knowing. Well, if we've got the arena, we're pushing character onto the arena, so it's the pointer of the arena. I'd like to initialize the arena first, I think. So let's do that. Well, it doesn't even need to be a full-on init, actually. It's just like... Oh! So what I'm essentially thinking here is, if we do the config arena, like if I do this, right? Right, if I do that, then when I come to do the fit function, like whenever I actually do anything, you know, like whenever I resize, that point is not going to point to the right thing anymore, is it? Or is it? So there's that issue. And there's also the issue when I do the first fit call, the point to take away the base is going to be equal to 0. Right, so doing that, modded with the 1 kilobytes block size, will evaluate to 0, and it'll just realloc some more stuff. But it shouldn't need to do that. Let's just see if my theory is correct. That when you realloc the base, the pointer doesn't get updated. I think I should be able to do that. So basically what I'm sort of driving at is, if you set the pointer to be the configuring base, right? Yeah, I mean, it as we kind of move the pointer off the base, it's not going to keep around. Where that thing is it? Let's just let this happen. And then dearest void pointer. Oh right. Let's just make them cars, because that's all they are. So what was this? This was the S base at I. S base at I. I think I'd just like to step through this just to watch what happens. Yeah, I mean, this is all completely messed up, isn't it? Because this base pointer ain't gonna get set up correctly, is it? I've got ideas for how to actually do this right, but I'd just like to see exactly what happens, just to see if I'm understanding what will actually happen. So down at the bottom, when we actually first of all set this thing, so the base is going to be set to the null pointer first of all. We're then going to allocate 1 kilobytes. So again, we're going to put that somewhere in the heap. We're then going to set this to be, so this, which was the null pointer, is then going to become the base. So we're not going to actually hit this anyway, so we don't need to bother about that. This will be pointed to the right place. It will be pointed to a valid location in memory. Then if we push a character, I reckon this should actually trigger a realloc. And I think what I want to see is, I want to see if triggering that realloc, this isn't right because we've already allocated something. I mean, technically we could, well no, I think we do need to have allocated the block size that we actually need to be talking about. Yeah, I'd just like to see when we hit this, to see what happens with the first of all, if this actually changes, and it should really be able to change location, shouldn't it? And then also, when it does change, this is going to be out of date. So let's just see what goes on. So they're both to the null pointer. Now the base is set, and the pointer remains at the null pointer. And now the pointer is set to be the base. So let's step into here. We don't need to go into this. We want to somehow step into the push project onto config, don't we? this has got, what's the leaf been through? Just look at the tree count. Tree count has got 20 trees, has it? So the 18th one is a project. So this is all going to happen, isn't it? And I think actually we need to actually where are we? This is resolve variables, and we're pushing project onto config in resolve variable. Sorry, yeah, that is right, because it's push thingamajig that is calling the resolve string. Yeah, right. So I need to get into resolve string somehow. So we've established that the arena has been set up. Just print again the not sure if it's here. So there we've got these guys set. So if we continue through to resolve string, which is the first place that we actually encountered this, I'm sure I commented out this line, by the way. But we're not going to pass it. So that's set to be the pointer. So here, let's just step in and see if it actually does it, first of all. We've hit an arithmetic exception. Oh, right. Didn't I say the items block should have been a kilobyte? Didn't I say that? Fit. Are you into 8? Oh, I can't fit that number. Right, that's a problem. Let's try again. I think I can just continue, can't I? Continue to there, then continue to here. And then I need to get to the push character. So let's just take a quick look at the arena. That looks legit. So now, do we have the items block looking at all sane? We don't. Yeah, but the thing is, if we do this, modded with the items per block, division by 0, yeah. I mean, am I just passing that incorrectly? Oh, yeah, could have done with actually changing that there. That would have helped. That's what I'm talking about. So if I do 0 divided by anything, it's going to mod to be 0, isn't it? Right. Well, I mean, it's going to happen, so let's just let it happen. So if reallocating the base, and the pointer itself isn't going to get moved. Right. So yeah, you can sort of see that the base is now at a different location from the pointer, and yet we haven't actually touched that pointer. So what I need to do is it's essentially just store the number, isn't it? It's like store the consumed. And I mean, maybe it could be easy to store the capacity as well. I mean, actually, what you do probably, I think I just need a different fit function. Basically, it's going to be a fit function that fixes up the pointer, essentially. So it's going to start off, it's going to see where the pointer is in relation to the base. So it knows how many characters past the base it is, how many bytes past the base it is. And then after fitting, you then set that to be where it should be in relation to the base. I think that's what you want. I mean, we still have got the other issue, haven't we? Which is we're initializing this base here to 1 kilobytes. When we go to fit, we've already well, actually, I guess that fit function itself actually would be capable of setting up. It'd be capable of setting that, wouldn't it? You know, it should know that we haven't initialized, or indeed before we've even done anything, because it's already calculating where this is in relation to that. So wherever it is, even if it's uninitialized, it's still going to evaluate to the right thing. The only difference is it's going to fix it up. So yeah, I think that's all we need. We just need a different fit function that actually fixes that, fixes the pointer up. So we don't need to bother with taking anything about clearing to 0. We don't need to know about the width of things. We could just say this is kind of going back to the old way that I used to do it, by the way. Is that right? We're allocating 1024. Once we've pushed 1023 things on and we increment past the 1023rd thing, then the next fit in arena call should trigger. I think this should be okay, I think. The thing is though that this ain't gonna be the right thing, is it? I mean, it's kind of also like this, but it's like location. Right, and this guy does all that. Finally, you just say that the base, sorry, is equal to the A base plus location. It's probably not at all how you actually want to do this. See if it crushes. Oops. So we're going to look at 0 bytes to the right of this byte region. Read file into buffer. So we've got a read of size 1 in resolve string. So it's trying to push character. It's trying to read the S base. It doesn't like. This has to be less than the length. Step through. So the location should be set as nothing, because that's just the point to take away the base. Go in, and I believe, was this where the read was happening, failing? Before we go on, let's just see what that actually is. That's an R. I don't know if that should be right. Guess we could push the string. Okay, it's risky. So that should be 0, shouldn't it? Yeah. This evaluates nothing. So now the base should be set and the pointer isn't yet. Okay. I guess I could run until this particular line, because it was crashing on the push character, wasn't it? And then see what we've been given. Well, actually, you just run until it crashes, don't you? So, we had a... Oh shit, you're saying that we've lost all the stuff. So we're getting quite a way through. Not 100% sure I understand why we're getting closing braces in there. Well, S is less than the length. So we've got risky. Let's print out the function name for resolve string. Okay, cool. So a single call to resolve string is yielding this. Why is the length set so high? The length is set to 5. Oh. That's gonna, yeah, no wonder we're dying, just chasing our tail. So now where do we die? So we've seen something, we've seen we're doing a strings match, are we? So we've got JS, we've got an R, and then a thing. Okay, yeah, that looks like it's kind of reasonable. We've encountered this, and then we're printing out this whole thing. So yeah, that looks okay. Heap use after free. Okay, so get medium from projects. Let's go through these. So we're doing this push project. So it's doing a reader size 1. Does that mean that push medium has failed somehow? Push project onto config. Let me just try one quick thing. I was essentially going to say, every time you do a push onto arena, like at the end of every resolve string, I was thinking of just printing out the entire contents of that arena just to see that stuff is looking reasonably sane. Field precision specifier. It doesn't like. Oh, we could let that print. That's kind of alright. But we do see mediums in there. So it's a bit troubling that get medium from project is straight up failing. I guess we could step into get medium from project to see what it does. Assets root directory, it's this unresolved thing here. I think this looks okay, strangely enough. Now what we don't have, we do have a medium. What's our medium count? Our medium count is 15. Programming, so we're going to be looking through the mediums. I guess it could be possible that this is actually not the one that's failing, by the way. So yeah, that's set. Programming is the thing that we're looking for. Should we just continue? Just see if it is in. So yeah, it probably was that call that died. Let's run it again. Okay, so it's just this very first strings match. not sure how I actually get into this check. This should die, shouldn't it? No. What? Hold on a second. What's going on? Why am I not? Probably just one of the strings matched that wasn't failing. Well, actually, what was it? It was in get Thingamadick from Thingy, wasn't it? There. Right. It was that. Right, P's. Right, at some point, I is going to become five, right? At that point, we should pop out of the loop, shouldn't we? I'm not sure I understand this because A and B are both set. Right. Yeah, I mean, as it was saying, it's a freed thing. So yeah, I guess maybe those pointers are just invalid now. I guess that's what's probably happening. I guess we could just step through it. I mean, surely it's not one of these two. Surely it's just this comparison here that's actually dying. Yeah. Shouldn't that have died? Okay. Yeah, there's this check that dies. So, push product, I guess. But let's go through to push project onto project. So this guy's already pushed all these lot on. So if you remember, we were looking through the IDs of mediums. I did say at one point, are we not pushing mediums on correctly anymore? So this has a medium count of 0. Maybe we should try and continue until we actually hit that push medium call. Maybe. Oh no, beg your pardon. We're populating this thing here, so we actually need to be looking at the project tree. So this has 15 trees, so one of those trees might be a medium tree. So yeah, the idea here is that we're going to go through all of the trees first, pushing on the mediums. I think that looks all legitimate. After doing this resolve string call, we should see the stuff all printed out, shouldn't we? Yeah, this dude. So should we see if we can get to the push medium and see what it actually does with our arena? What is the just out of interest? $604 bytes in. Wasn't it saying something about failing 600 or something into 1024 region? It's located 604 bytes inside of this region. Yeah. And where are we up to? Oh, we're at 604. So the arena is still valid, right? We've literally just resolved a string onto the arena, right? So 604, and remember that the resolve string function actually increments the pointer. The resolve. So now that we've resolved that, We're now past that 604 thing. When we fit a medium, we're trying to fit a medium into a project, aren't we? Yeah, you can see that that's getting filled up all the time. But it was somewhere within the push project call, wasn't it? Can you remember where that was? It was the get medium, wasn't it? That's what it was. It was this call down here that was dying. Right. What is going on here? Is that just not right? Because you can see we go over the tree count again down here. That just seems to be bogus. Right. I think maybe I was just sort of going to do the ident memory, sorry, the ident medium in one of these dudes. Is that what it's going to do? Don't know. But either way, I think we do successfully get past here. And then it's only when we go... So then when we get down to get medium from project that we're failing, I think. So in-app speech is going on. And then we're down to here. Yeah, right. So we want to be seeking... So we're searching against the project's own stuff. So we're trying to set the default medium here. All we're trying to do is set a pointer. And this is going to be returning... I'm not sure. I mean, it should just be one of these, shouldn't it? There should be a pointer within this little block here. It's the medium. We've got 15 mediums. They start here. And their resolved names should be on in the arena. Right. So basically we're going to have this medium here. It's going to be, at this location, it's going to be an array of, well, probably 16 actually. It'll be a 16 block allocation. 15 of these guys being populated, and a medium is simply going to be a pointer to, well no it's not, it's going to be an ID, a name and an icon, and these are all strings, so they're going to be strings that are pointing into the arena. Oh, tell you what, is that what's going on here? They're pointing into the arena, but I'm not fixing up the pointers. That'll be the problem, won't it? Right, whenever I do the fit function, I bet you it gets called at least once. Sorry, it's the fit in arena, isn't it? Yeah, so it was 604. Let's just see where the arena actually is at the moment. Yeah, right, so will it... That's probably the issue, isn't it? It's reallocated to the arena. But he hasn't fixed up the pointers. Yeah, I've forgotten about that issue. So how do you handle that? A, how do you handle it? And B, why didn't Casey have anything like this kind of an issue? Or why didn't it seem like it did? I do have the idea of a string array, don't I? What do I have? I've got something to do with strings somewhere. Maybe I haven't actually. Yeah, I want to say string array or string set. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's in a config pair. But even so, I'm not sure that that would actually help me. Because it's still going to... You know, it's still going to be pointing into here we go, string list. So what is this? This is a pointer to a string, an account. So it's well, it's a number of strings. Where is this? Is this used anywhere? So it's a config include. I like how push string doesn't call a fit. Oh, it does call a fit, sorry. I mean, we haven't had an issue with this getting out of date, have we? 1, 2, 3. I suppose we've just looked out. If I actually change this down to 2, can we crash when pushing a string onto that list? So we've got, and we're still going down to the resolve strings issue here. So yeah, we're not crashing, and we would have hit this push string, right? Maybe that's what you need. Maybe you need a string list. And whenever you push onto the string list, in fact that probably is straight at what you need, isn't it? The only difference that I would like is when you do the fit. Although I guess technically, right, when you're doing a fit, that's just what you want anyway, isn't it? Isn't it? Well, actually, this push string actually doesn't allocate the space for the strings. It's only allocating the space for the actual pointers. So all a string list is a count and a string. String, as we know, is just a base and a length, isn't it? And essentially this fit thing, all it's doing is giving us the space in this allocation here for these guys, right? But it doesn't actually, and the base itself is going to be ending up pointing into a different thing. it's going to be pointed to this incoming string here. And these things just pointed to the file. So the current situation is we have structs with pointers. I mean, I guess one cheesy way of doing it is just to make it big enough that you don't have to resize, but it kind of defeats the point of making it resizable. You know, I mean, like if I was to say, right, just give us 32k for the config. Yeah, I mean, I don't die. But that's not acceptable. We need to actually make it flexibly handle stuff, I reckon. Wow, back to the end, the start of the buffer. So a project is going to contain, just to go back to what I was trying to say, or the config is going to contain a number of persons and a number of projects. And a project itself is going to contain this stuff here, right? String ID. And what we're attempting to do is to stuff all of these onto an arena so we can easily free it, basically. So these things are going to be a pointer into that arena, and they're going to be a length of the string that we're talking about. The arena, we want to be able to say that it can grow. So one possible way of doing it, after fitting, if you found that you had to reallocate, well, I mean, you've got to have everybody on you. Like every single string that you're talking about within this project and within the mediums and the persons, well, it's really the, yeah, I mean the mediums, I suppose, because you push those onto the project. Everything that you're pushing on here, apart from the numbers, is going to be pointing into that arena. right? So after fitting, after resizing that arena, you're going to have to go back through absolutely everybody that you've got in there, fixing up their pointers. So that'd be a case of like kind of looping through all the projects again to see if they've got the thing set, and if they have, move their pointer to the correct place. I mean, I guess another way of doing it, rather than it being an actual pointer into the thing, you say that a string is just an offset into the offset into the arena. It's an offset and a length. I suppose that means you'd have to pass the arena around with everything every single time you want to use the strings. I think I might just sleep on this one. I'm not sure I'm coming up with anything particularly groundbreaking here. Another alternative could be using that string list. So you've got the number of strings that you know you need to be talking about. Push onto the string list. So you essentially mirror these things in the string list. And then whenever you resize it, you just loop through the string list, offsetting those pointers. Should I try that? So make the arena contain a string list. Oops. How does this work? Takes a string list and a source. So every time you do that, you just push one on. And then we need to find the difference. I'm not 100% sure that that's correct. Well, actually, let's make it be 1 as it used to be. And we only need to know the basis for all these guys. We don't need to care about the lengths. Although we do push the thing on, the whole thing on, don't we? But yeah, like I say, it's only the basis that we're offsetting. I'm not convinced that this is the right syntax. Because really I want to be getting the address of this, but this is going to be dereferencing it. Can I do that? Let's step into fit in arena. I mean, this is what I want to be talking about. I want to be talking about this value. Well, kind of. If we're reallocating, I guess at this point here, the A strings count should be nothing anyway, so they don't need to be fixed up. But really, yeah, like I'm saying, this is the value that I'm talking about. Like, I don't care about that per se. Yeah, because I'm dereferencing the null pointer, you say. So I don't want to be talking about that. I guess you just initialize a pointer. What's going on? Yeah, that probably is what you do, actually, isn't it? It's like right. That's probably more like what I'm talking about. That's fine. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Where's base now? I mean, clearly, this value here is going to be this same value, yeah. And then because there's no strings to move, it's not going to bother. Dying. Now what does it look like? It's the same error, isn't it? So we've got through the whole thing, and it doesn't like again. It doesn't like the fact that I've moved those bases. Ah, is that just because... Yeah, they're different pointers, aren't they? The pointer that's in this string is different from the pointer that's in this thing here. Right. This ain't pointing at this. All that's happening is that they're both pointing into the arena. This guy's getting updated, but this thing ain't. Interesting. I think I'm going to have to definitely sleep on this one. Where are we up to? So we've still got another 43 minutes to go. Blimey. I think I'm going to, stop early. We've listened to My Foolish Friend, which was one of the important songs to listen to. Yeah, I'm going to call it there. I think let's just back out this stuff that we just did with the pushing onto that string list, because that wasn't helping. That isn't helping us at all. Oh, and we know what the problem is down there now. But if we give ourselves 32k, then we can cheese it. So yeah, so that is the problem. It's like I mean, that's basically it, isn't it? Figure out a good story for updating points after reallocating. Yeah, I'm not really sure if I've got any particularly good ideas here. Other than, like, manually going through everyone and just updating the pointers, which just seems a bit of a hassle. And remember that the whole point of doing the arenas in the first place was because we thought it would ease the freeing of them. Because currently we'd have to, when we free a project, we need to piecemeal. You know, when we were previously using the make string function, we'd have to piecemeal free each string that's within the project. I think I should be able. This dice, doesn't it? Yeah, I should be able to just trivially just go back to exactly what we did before. Strangely enough. Yeah, so in this game it works. This works fine because it's just allocating separate dudes. You know, for each string, we're just returning. It's we're just allocating a new thing. Interestingly, we use realloc here. Not exactly sure why. Oh, it's because of the. We're going over the length of the format, and that's what it is. So you might have to realloc it as you go through. Yeah, let's call it there. And determined to figure this out tomorrow. So thank you very much, heroes and heroines, for being here, for being fantastic and being beautiful and inspirational and all those fantastic things. We'll probably be back tomorrow for more. So thank you very much, and farewell for now.